BB and Jack. I forgot to set up my mic. BB and Jack Fruits. What's up, party people? How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. We have a couple of things to talk about. First, John Fetterman is maybe thinking about leaving the Democratic Party. We spoke about this the other day. Real quick, once again, I'm not knocking Democratic voters. I was a Democrat at one time. Why should 6ix9ine not be free? Shout out to 6ix9ine. Actually, did he do a crime that he should have just recently got arrested for? He did get in trouble and broke his probation or thing, something like that, right? We could look into that a little bit later. Don't let me forget. We could look into that. Let me get about at least 20 minutes of the actual show. And then we look into that maybe. But a couple of things I want to say. I want to talk about this John Fetterman thing. I want to talk about something else first. But John Fetterman thinking about leaving or threatening to leave the Democratic Party. And what kind of conversation did we just have the other day? I told y'all that there are people, elected officials, that they don't align with what the top of the party is doing. The people that run the Democratic Party, they don't align with what they talking about. You shouldn't either. I get it. It's easy to hate whoever you're hating, I guess. But how many times have you hated somebody just to find out that you dislike them for reasons that weren't real? How many times are you upset at somebody just to find out you were busy being angry at somebody that did no wrong? Or didn't do the wrong you believe that they did? Because there's no human being that's done no wrong. How often has that happened? Just something to be mindful of while everybody's walking around out here thinking, I hate Trump, I'm never wrong. Just everybody's out here thinking that. Also, we will be talking a little bit about the Gucci Mane situation. I'll probably start off with the Gucci Mane situation, but I want to say a couple of things first, and then we talk about Gucci Mane because that's going to be quickest. I want to add, and I want to say this. This about the Gucci Mane situation. I want to talk about that because we got to talk about these rappers. But before we get to the Gucci Mane, I want to say this. So there is So the deceased Iranian general General Soleimani's niece, she's been in the U.S. since 2015 on a tourist visa. She was granted asylum, which is important. I'll get to that in 2 seconds. In 2019, and she got a green card in 2021. She applied for citizenship last July, but disclosed she had traveled to Iran at least 4 times since getting her green card. I want to say something. If you apply from asylum from any country and you go back to that country, you should lose your green card. Y'all do know what asylum means, right? Asylum basically means that you want to stay in a country other than your home country, because if you go back to your home country, your life is going to be in jeopardy. You might be killed. It's dangerous for you. You might die. So to apply for asylum from wherever the hell, and then go back and visit, is the opposite of needing asylum. Just so we can be clear. So, independent of who this gentleman Soleimani's niece is, independent of that, I think that if you ask for citizenship from any country for the explicit purpose of you needing asylum because you can't stay in your country because your life is in jeopardy, and you ever go back to the country that you needed asylum for, I think that you should lose your citizenship to whatever the new country is. Go try that shit in a whole different country. Maybe that'll work somewhere other than that country. But that's what I think you should do. So they have taken her citizenship away from her. She's being deported. She was part of the Iranian regime, obviously. So there's no love lost for her by the Iranian people. And I want to have a real quick. So I was at the park today playing basketball. I haven't been out there playing much. I've been doing other stuff. I'm deciding on which park I'm going to play basketball at. The park right here inside of my community or the park up the block. Kaiser. I'm deciding which park I'm going to spend the majority of my time in playing. If I go to Kaiser, I get to play actual basketball. But if I go to this park, I get more of the ability to do more coaching. And I would prefer to do more coaching. But if I start going to Kaiser and I have kids out there to coach, then I might just start going to Kaiser more here because I'm going to explain why. But this explanation I'm going to give you is basically also look at it in the way of politics. Because I had to explain to a kid that not all physical contact in basketball is a foul. Basically, the kid thinks that anytime the defender touches him, basically in any way, shape, or form, and it's a foul. That any time the defender makes contact with the offensive player, it's a foul. And I had to explain to him that there's basketball motions, there's movements that are basketball moves, meaning that when you get on a basketball court, you don't run like you're a sprinter. You run like you're playing basketball. There's a rhythm, there's a pace. When you move, there's a rhythm, there's a pace. When you backing somebody down, there's a rhythm, there's a pace. There's actual basketball moves. And I had to explain to him, when you are playing against somebody who they don't have that moves yet, they don't have the basketball equivalency to the athleticism that you need in order to be able to do basketball moves yet, they're still working on it. It's always a work in progress. My first couple of years of playing basketball, I did not move like a basketball player. It is what it is. And I had to explain to him that based on him at times making movements that weren't basketball moves, when the contact was made between the defensive player and him, who at the time was the offensive player, there's periods of time that you cannot call the foul on the defensive player because you're committing the foul. You're the one creating the contact. The offensive player is creating the contact and it's not because the defensive player has left his feet and is doing something dangerous, then there is not a foul that could, and generally speaking, there's not a foul to be called on the defensive player. This is how politics is. We have people discussing politics that don't understand the movements of armies, the movements of politicians, the movements of law. They don't understand any of this. But they're having full conversations telling you how they feel. Having no facts, knowing very little about the Constitution, but having a lot of emotion and feeling really strongly about things. Let me give you a good example of just our people sometimes not understanding how things work. And when I say our people, I'm not talking about black people. I'm talking about people in the hood, just so we can be clear. So you don't want your neighborhood to be a dangerous place to live. But you fight to keep actual murders, killers, and the people who sell the worst type of drugs free. You fight to make sure that these people don't go to prison. Where do you think they're going to live? While you're complaining that your neighborhood is dangerous. You're complaining how your neighborhood is dangerous. But all of the most dangerous people, y'all fight for them to be free. You right now, this is, and I'm not being funny, this is one of the last 10 to 15 years has been the best time to be a murderer. Because you could kill somebody and get out in 5. Think about that for a moment. Be found guilty or whatever. But you could kill somebody right now in New York City and be out in 5 or less. Where do you think they're going to live? Where do you think these people who are committing some of the most heinous crimes and then not being held responsible for it, so they don't feel like they need to change, where do you think they're living? Where do you think they're going to move to? You think Beverly Hills is like, yo, come on, please come over here with all of your criminalities? You think that's happening? So, hold that thought. People complain about taxes. They complain about the prices of things, and they're complaining about it's expensive to live, right? But they also complain anytime Trump does anything to make the country money. I need somebody to explain that to me. They complain about tariffs. They complain about every deal he makes. They complain about every single thing that brings currency to the country. Everything. While also complaining it's too expensive to live. And they want taxes and everything else to go down. Let's talk about this John Fetterman. So John Fetterman, as everybody knows, he is, I believe, the senator from Pennsylvania. He is threatening to quite possibly go independent and maybe even Republican because he is not satisfied with the direction that his political party is currently going in or has been in, the last 10, 15 years. Where it's at right now, he's like, I don't think I can stay a part of the Democratic Party. We had a conversation the other day. I personally know of quite a few. I not personally know them. I know a couple, and I know of a couple. Let's just say I know of a couple. I know of a couple politicians at different levels of government that have switched from being Democrat to Republican. Now, this is the best way I could explain it. Consider this the far left. Consider my TV switch. So your left is my right and my right is your left. This is the far right and this is the far left. Now, over here on the ends, you have a little bit of people. But here in the middle, right here in the middle, this is where all of the mass is. This is where the majority of the people is. And as it goes out to the further to the end, it starts here and it gets lower as it goes to the end. Right? What ended up happening was the middle moved. These are the Democrats. These are the Republicans. The middle moved this way. These are the Democrats, pardon me. These are the Republicans. So the middle has moved this way. So all of these people that were in here and they were Democrats, now the actual Democratic Party has moved on the other side of them. So the things that the Democrats want right now and they're pushing are not things that the majority of the Democratic Party even wants. Y'all allowed, I don't even know what to call these people, these charlatans, but y'all allowed them to steal the Democratic Party. They did it with Obama. That's when they stole it. Just so we can be clear. Obama is when they stole the Democratic Party. Ever since then, the Democratic Party has been hijacked. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying it was so great before then. But since then, the Democratic Party has been hijacked. You don't believe me? Why, when Obama won, wait for it, did Hillary Clinton say she was robbed? They stole it from me. They got her on audio, on video. I don't know if it's video, but on audio saying that when Obama won the nomination that they stole it from her. Now, what do we know about the Democrats? That they steal elections. What did homegirl that just lost in Texas say? What's that chick name? The ratchet one, Jasmine Crockett. What did she say when she lost? And she lost to another Democrat, and she said they stole the election. She lost to another Democrat. The reality was this: the seat she was going for was a bigger seat than they were ever gonna allow for her to have. It's that simple. If they didn't redistrict and she doesn't lose that smaller seat, they're perfect. The Democrats are perfectly fine with her being there. But once she went for the bigger seat, you're a whole clown. You so much of a clown, we gonna go get another clown to beat you for the damn nomination. Because the person that beat her is just as much of a clown as she is. He's just white. I think they like the same kind of men. Anyway. So John Fetterman is saying, yo, look, I don't think I want to be a part of this. The thinking, this is what I think the thinking is. The thinking is I don't share Republican views. My views have not changed from all of this time that I've been a part of the Democratic Party. So I don't share Republican views, so it doesn't make sense for me to become a Republican. But obviously, I don't share the views of the Democratic Party. And just so I could explain to y'all what's really going on, the Dems ain't going to back him. They're going to make sure he loses if he stays a Democrat. They're going to push him out. Why would they push him out? Because he's popular. And if they don't push him out, then his not having a crazy ass agenda might usurp their crazy ass agenda. And they might lose all their power. So they have to get rid of him before he can climb any higher in the Democratic Party. So it would make sense for him to leave the Democratic Party. Because they gunning for him. I promise you. The Democrats, and I'm not talking about the voters, and just so we can be clear, voters might be like this, but I'm not talking about the voters. I'm talking about the people that run the party. They don't seem to be the most kind or thoughtful people. They just don't seem to be. It seems like fake. It seems like fake concern. People do fake concern all the time. I would tell you how to be able to tell people doing fake concern, and then you could deal with it however you want to deal with it. But I use it on people myself so I can find out who really is for me. So I don't want to say it. Give me a second. Funny. Yeah, yeah, so I use it myself now. So did y'all notice that ever since I start putting this thing up right here, that the people stop coming into the chat talking crazy? Y'all notice that? Because I'm going to tell you what they was doing. They was coming into the chat talking crazy, and then now if I kick them, right, one, they'll tell people I'm talking to myself. They'll show people the video and be like, yo, look, he's not talking to nobody. If he was talking to somebody, you could see their name here. Satan is just a bitch, yo. Satan just always doing some evil. And another thing that they do is there's people around here where I live that I don't think these people are that smart. So they trick them real easy. I'm not going to say who these people are, but these people are not that smart. So they just trick them like real easy like that. So they trick the people into thinking that I'm talking about stuff that I'm not really talking about, that they're in the chat talking about. So now that I put the thing up right here, as soon as they comment, it pop up. They can't comment and delete it or nothing like that. So that's why I'm not having to deal with them that bad no more. But the people that they be tricking out here is just these, and these people is my friends, and I'm not trying to be funny, but they slow. They really are though. They might know how to do certain things or whatever the case is, like whatever the fuck, because everybody know how to do certain things, but they slow. And I'm only saying that based off the lies that they be like believing and the way that they react to me when they get the lie. I'm like, And then there's some people that I know for a much shorter time than I knew these people, and you can't even lie to these people about me. Like, you can't lie to them about me, as far as I can tell, because I've seen people try. But these people who I knew for a dumb long time, you come up to me and say any lie, they just jump right out the window. We all know, because they already didn't like me before. That's why they so quick to believe the lies, because they never liked me. Whereas the people that I'm around now, they genuinely like me. So when somebody comes to them and tell them a lie about me, they just, the fuck is you talking about? Anyway, let's get back to it. I had one dude following me around with somebody to disrespect me. I'm not going to go into it, but there's a certain person that, shout out to, I'm not speaking negative about the individual. I'm trying to say it as politely as possible. Learning disability. I don't know. I'm trying to say it as politely as possible. So they use that person to like insult me, so I can't say nothing. Like if somebody has got a learning disability, like they don't even know what they doing is wrong. You know what I'm saying? So they got the person like just doing something to me that they don't even know that they doing anything wrong. They don't know. And so they follow. Now they up to, I think I figuring they following me around Coney Island with the person now, trying to like get the like these people are crazy, yo. This shit is bananas, yo. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. Now they following me around with the guy, so the guy could just yell profanities at me and disrespect me everywhere I'm at. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know what to tell you. You just gotta pray for them, man. And these people are supposed to be church-going people. I don't know what to tell you. You gotta pray for them, man. In any regard, let's get to the supposed to be church-going people. You know what I'm saying? The Bible says that you will tell a person from their fruits. Be mindful of that. Tell a person from their fruits. So if they have a lot but they're producing a little bit, but if they have a little bit and they're producing a lot, you can tell the people from their fruits. In any regard, now I gotta following me around Coney Island trying to get me insulted by somebody that don't even know what they doing, yo. People just be on some real BS. Anyway, John Fetterman threatening to leave the Democratic Party. I need to explain this to a lot of y'all. There are a lot of people who are Democratic elected officials that want to leave the Democratic Party. Not even all for the same reason. But there are a lot of people who are elected Democratic officials that want to leave the Democratic Party. If you need a reason, I'll give you the easiest reason that I can think of. There's no growth. Why don't we hear about the cities and the communities that are doing well? Do y'all remember? Because I'm old enough to remember this. Do y'all remember when politicians, when it was time for election season, they'd have that ad where they show the things that they were doing in their community and getting things done? And they'd be like, paid for by people who like, whatever the XY candidate is. Y'all remember that? Because that used to be a thing where they used to broadcast their wins instead of all of the money is put into talking shit about the opponent. I think people forget that that's the way campaigns used to be ran for a long time. The person, or the whoever's running the campaign, they'll put out content, commercials or whatever, based on, we've created this many jobs, we've cleaned these neighborhoods, we've helped these amount of people, we feed this many people a month in this area, or what. That's not what they're doing no more. All they make now is got to get Trump out of office. So they have convinced the Democratic voters that the most important thing is to get Trump out of office, not all of the problems that they're also saying exist. Oh, pardon me. Democrats are saying that no problems exist, by the way. So for everybody that believes that there's problems that exist in America, Democrats basically say America's perfect. Remember, during Biden, they said America was perfect. Why do you think they didn't need to fix anything and they just kept creating new LGBTQ stuff? America was perfect. That was the lie that they were selling. So that as soon as Trump came into office, or anyone else came into office, they could be like, oh, it's all terrible now. We don't got $8 gas anymore. So, just so we could be clear, there's no growth in the Democratic Party. Wherever you're at is where you are going to stay, unless you're willing to just talk shit about Donald Trump. That's how you get elevated in the Democratic Party. Not by doing a good job, not by being loved by the people. How many sound bites could you put out in a week talking shit about Trump, and how interested are people in hearing it? That's it. That's the whole party. Literally the whole party. Tell me one time that they ever tried to do anything in the last year and a half that didn't have to do with undoing or preventing Trump from doing something. Name one thing. Or was it stealing, scamming of some kind? Name one thing. You can't. There isn't anything. What up, Jerome? Oh, I'm not a Trump. See, once again, I need to be clear on this because I get it. People don't get this. I'm not a Trump fan. I am 100% not a Trump fan. I respect a lot of stuff that he's doing. Some of the things he's done, I don't necessarily agree with. I don't never get to talk about those things because I'm usually talking about stuff setting people straight about the lies that people have out there about him. So I don't really get to talk about the stuff that I don't agree with that much because there's so many lies and misinformation on this administration. I've never seen anything like this I've never seen anything like this that is so easily researched. Like, these things are easily researched. How's everybody getting it wrong? 1 second. We're not talking about some shit you gotta go look through a damn Encyclopedia Britannica to find. We got Google nowadays. Do you know how it feels to have a friend? And let's say, before we even get to the friend, let's say something happens in the government. Let's say you do enough research on it where you could say you done spent about 25 to 30 hours researching that thing. Right? You have extensive knowledge of that thing. And then you get into a conversation with somebody who you admire, you think you know is a good person or whatever. And the information that they have is that you're wrong, but they can't tell you. All they can say is, do your research. Now, you just put in a 30 fuck part of my language. You just put in 35 hours of researching this one specific thing. And just so I could be clear, I'm not saying you did that over one day. It might have been over a week. It might be over 2 weeks. But you've spent a lot of time. A lot. And this person has zero information to add. No, you're wrong. And their reply is, you need to do research. I'd be so mad at the Democratic Party. Not the voters, the elected officials. I'd be so mad at them. You don't understand how mad I'd be at them. Was it Malcolm X that said, say a lie enough times and people won't be able to distinguish it from the truth? Was that Malcolm X? A lot of people said something similar to that, but I'm curious. Who said if you tell a lie enough times you won't be distinguish it from the truth? That's not the exact line, but okay, so it came out a couple of times, but before Malcolm X was able to say it, Nazi. Nazis started this shit. So that's why I hate the that's why I'm so angry at the upper echelon of the Democratic Party. Because a lot of this stuff I know to be incorrect. A lot of this stuff that the people out here saying I know is wrong. Like, I don't think it's wrong. You understand? Like, I know it's wrong. And you're like, what in the hell is going on? So expect for, if Fetterman leaves the Democratic Party, expect for there to be more elected officials that's going to jump ship. Just expect. Remember, Fetterman's a big enough name that he could get other people to come aboard with him. Also, I expect Fetterman knows that the Democrats are going to lose big in the midterms. Big. I'm going to explain this one more time. Well, I'm going to explain it 10 more times after this, but I'm going to explain it again. If the Democrats have been cheating, if they have been cheating, that means they know how badly they have been losing, because that's the only way they can know how much they need to cheat to win and it not look crazy. So they know how badly they've been losing. They know they've been getting mollywopped. They know they've been having to throw 10,000 extra votes there, 20,000 extra votes there, 100,000 extra. They know this. They know they've been getting absolutely crushed. They know which Democrats won the seat honestly and which haven't. Another reason why I don't think they back Jasmine Crockett. The thing that kills me is so much of this stuff just seems so obvious to me. And that's why after everything unfolds all the time, if you've been on this page for any time soon, if you've been on this page for the last 7-8 years, I have been prognosticating things like constantly. I've been telling people about things that's going to happen a year in advance, months in advance, sometimes a day or two. And like, this is not nothing new. I've been doing this. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is not new. I understand that there's a lot of people that know me personally now that don't know that I've been doing that. But shout out to the Most High, glory be to God, Jesus is King. I have been prognosticating, or I've been fortunate to have been correct about a lot of things that I said were going to happen. And then those things eventually happen. How would I be able to do any of that if I don't have research behind it? If I'm not attuning myself to that frequency in one way or another, how would I be able to do any of those things? Just question. I'm trying to think about how should I phrase this. Trying to think about how I should phrase this. I think that's good. Do you think the Democratic Party is going to lose some elected politicians to the Republicans? Meaning, do you think that there are Democratic elected officials who are going to switch sides and decide that they just want to be, and decide that they want to be Republicans or independent? Well, Republicans. I'm curious. I'm just being honest with you. I was trying to figure out how to phrase the question. But no, I'm not really a Trump fan. I don't dislike Trump, just so we can be clear. But I'm not really like, I'm not out here like Trump. I'm not doing none of that. I'm like, Jesus. This is Jesus over here. Just so we can be clear. But no, I'm not out here saying Trump. It just sounds like that to people because at this period of time, I can't think of anything positive to say about the Democrats. I'm going to tell you what's so wild. The Democrats might be out there right now doing incredible things. Like, I'm pretty sure that there's Democratic officials all over America that's doing incredible things, but we're never going to know about it because all the news is going to talk about is to hate Trump. So we're not even going to know about anything good the Democrats are doing. We're not going to know. That's one of the main reasons why I really don't want to just bash Democrats across the board. And why you hear me often say it's the upper echelon, the hierarchy, the people at the top that's running the party. Because I'm certain, I'm 1,000,000% certain that there's Democrats out there right now doing incredible things. I'm 1,000,000% certain. But we're just not going to know about it because the news isn't allowed to talk about anything except for bad Trump. That's it. They're not allowed to talk about nothing else. So we just never going to know. So the only time we hear about Democrats is when Trump and them is complaining about them doing some weird shit. Which they are doing. They're doing a lot of weird shit. I'm sorry. I'm going to forever side with protecting children. So I'm forever going to be against any of those individuals that want to give children sex changes and want to put those weird ass books in their libraries. I'm against y'all. And like completely. There is no not being against y'all. You understand what I'm saying? Like there is no we can meet in the middle. That doesn't exist. It's not a thing. We could absolutely not meet in the middle. That's not something we could do. Just so we could be clear. What the hell would be meeting in the middle? You want to turn little boys into Adam, whatever. So I want to be clear about this. I'm thinking about something funny. I'm not going to talk about it though. I want to be clear about this. I do believe that there are Democrats that I don't want them to leave the party. But us as voters, right? Y'all got to start finding those Democrats that's reasonable and sensible. Y'all got to start putting them on y'all y'all little Instagram, big YouTube, little you, I don't care. Y'all got to start putting them on y'all platforms and letting the rest of the world know about them. The only Democrats people, they can tell you who the AOCs is. She's just a soundbite waiting to happen. She say the stupidest shit you could think of in the most sincere manners. A complete idiot. Or Jasmine Crockett. Like, these are the up and coming Democrats we're getting. These are not good Democrats. These Democrats are terrible. But these are the ones we're getting. Who you choose from? So you guys out there, stop protesting every 5 minutes. Y'all protest every day. It don't even make sense. You don't get tired? Every day y'all protest. Stop protesting so much. Start highlighting some of the freaking people in your party you think are exemplary, that are exceptional, that are doing good things, so we could talk about that. You tell them this and they're gonna be like, no, hate Trump. Like, God dang it. So let's do that. I'm on the lookout to put some content on this page that is Democrats doing good things for the American citizens. If anybody tells or send me any of them doing anything for illegals, that don't count. If they're doing it for legal immigrants, that don't count neither. I want to hear them doing something for American citizens that were born here in America. Now, I know you're going to try to get tricky. You're going to go get the children of an immigrant. No. 2 generations in America. See, this is how you got to talk to people who you know are going to lie. I got some people who I used to be friends with. This is not me talking bad about them. This is just me saying the thing. And I'm not even saying when I knew them. I could have knew them 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago. I could have knew them yesterday. So I got some friends, that people who used to be my friends. I don't consider them my friends now. I don't think they're good people. But that's neither here nor there. So one of the things that sometimes people like to do is, in order to manipulate you, remember, you got people who are your friends and you got people who just see you as a resource. Like, even if you can't give money, you might be able to give your time and energy. You might be able to lend your aura. You understand? You might be a strong back for them to use. But I'm going to tell you the difference between a friend and somebody that sees you as a resource. How often do the friend or the resource call you to see how you doing? You see, the friend is going to call you every once in a while, even if y'all don't really talk, going to get in contact with you every once in a while, be like, yo, what's good? You all right over there? You know what a resource is going to do? You're always going to have to reach out to the resource. Friends, when you're not around, they talk good about you. So when you meet people that your friends know, they meet you like this. People who consider you a resource, they don't talk about you like you are a friend. They talk about you like you are a thing, not a person. So when those people meet you, they meet you like this. A little standoffish. Gotta keep my eye on this guy. There's something to be mindful of. And that's why when you have actual friends, it just feels different. It just feels different. I remember being the guy that my friends could hit up for $20, $30, $40. Might need, whatever. If it's over 50, I'm gonna want it back. But, I used to be that guy. And I enjoyed being that guy. Because I didn't look at it as I'm losing money. I looked at it as I have a resource for a reason. The wider you spread your resources, out into the world, and just so we could be clear, in a how do you say, in a good way. Like, that's God's love. You understand? So be mindful of people who only give when they have extra, or not even that much. But be mindful of people who only give when it's convenient. In contrast to people who give because there is a need that another person has. So even though it's not convenient, this is just something we're doing right now. Because those people that treat you like the convenience, you might be a resource. I'm a funny dude. Sometimes I ask friends for like $1. I ask them for something that I know I would give them if I had it. Like, without a second thought. Just to see what their reaction is. And sometimes you got to do shit like that. And I literally only do that when, I'm questioning one thing or another. Like, let's say it's a female. I'm like, maybe I want to spend resources and time on her. I need to know if I'm going to get reciprocated. So you do little tiny things and see, you know what I'm saying, how, because men and women are different. Anyway, let's get back to what we talking about. Can we talk about that Pooh Shiesty thing? Nobody's commenting, so I'm just talking about what I want to talk about. If y'all was commenting, I'd stay on track a little closer. Let's talk about that Pooh Shiesty shit real quick. First thing I'm going to say is this. Pooh Shiesty should not be a free man. I'm sorry. Pooh Shiesty shouldn't be free. Alright? First, just so we can be clear. I forgot the first, just so we could be clear. They robbed the dude at gunpoint. Sneakers. I need to explain this. The way I know it to be, they was buying the sneakers from some sneaker dude. They show up, a green McLaren, a freaking lime green. They wasn't even, what the hell. Anyway, he shows up in a car to commit a crime when there's like less than 20 of those cars in America. Like, what in the hell, fam? Is there even another car like that in the state? Anyway, let's move on. So, he should not be a free man. I'm going to explain why. First, he shows up to rob a dude for a pair of sneakers that he should have more than, he should have been able to buy the sneakers 50 times over. But instead, they elected to rob the dude while actually having money on them, I think. So he's just committing crimes for the love of the game. He's not committing crimes because his family's hungry. He's not committing crimes because the lights went out. He's not committing crimes for, I don't know, somebody has a family member hostage and be like, you better go do this or bang bang. He's literally committing crimes for the love of the game. I need for y'all to understand this. All of those committing crimes for the love of the game dudes, they should always get the max. That's just my opinion. You see, a lot of y'all talk crazy. And y'all act like y'all know crazy niggas. But y'all don't. And you want to know the proof that I know that y'all don't? Because y'all think everybody deserves a second chance. I know people that ain't going to stop murdering and they don't care. They don't care. They don't care how many years you give them. They don't care if they locked up. They still going to murder. I know people who sit around and talk about how much they love murdering. Point being, All of them dudes that's committing crimes for the love of the game, give them the max. And somebody's going to say, yo, he a snitch. I'm a whole law-abiding citizen, fam. You commit a crime against me, I'm telling you right now, I'm calling 911. I don't care what you think. I don't care. I don't care if it's a crime that you do some shit, I whoop you out in the street and I could just walk away and go about my business. No, I'm calling the police. Because after you got your ass whooped, I still want you to go to jail. Because, just so we could be clear, I might have beat you in a fight, but that next person that you tried it against might not. Y'all better know when God is testing y'all. I think that's a problem we have. People don't be knowing when God is around doing stuff. And God will be standing, he's always watching us. But God will be right there and it'll be a freaking important moment. And y'all just with it. Whole Charlie Brown, Lucy football field goal. With the whole damn thing. So I'm explaining this as best as I can. Still talking about Pooh Shiesty. Dude went and robbed the dude that was sneakers. I think they ended up, a whole shootout happened. I can't remember if somebody died or got shot in this situation. But let's that happen. Okay, he's still out in the street to perform. Right? Then he's at a damn club and he ends up shooting a security guard in the leg. How many years he did? Fam! And he only was gonna get 5 and 3 months. This isn't, pardon me, this isn't a person protecting themselves. We're going to talk about the Gucci Mane thing in a second. I just want to be clear about something. This isn't a person protecting themselves. This is a full-blown idiot. How long has he been out of prison? Nigga ain't even been out a year. Part of my language. Oh man, and the crime that they actually is moving firearms across state lines. Oh, they're gonna fry him. Oh, they're gonna fry him. How can they know he moved firearms across state lines unless somebody has already been talking? I'm gonna say that again. Look what the crime he got hit with. How would they know he was moving firearms across state lines unless somebody is already talking? Which means they already got a snitch in his crew. The snitch has already been there. He's always been there. I'm going to say something for y'all people that don't get it, because I think that, I don't know, people just don't get it. But y'all do know, when you are a big time rapper and you come out of prison, there is 100% somebody that is about us 5 paces away from you that's watching you at all times. Now, depending on what crimes you commit and depending how useful you are to whatever the agenda is they got going on, they might not even Your name might never come up. You might be running drugs somewhere that they don't care about. And you're not doing enough for them to be worried or concerned. Your name is probably on a list, but it's like 8 names in front of you. They're going to get to you when they get to you. You do understand that's why the Democrats want ICE to be smaller, right? And they want to defund them. Because if the ICE is less people, then they won't be able to get rid of as many people. They won't be able to deport as many people because it's going to be like what I just said. We get to you when we get to you. So why is he so stupid? Pooh Shiesty decided that they was going to kidnap Gucci Mane. And then they complained that Gucci Mane snitched on him. First, every single last one of you people that's out here complaining that Gucci Mane snitched, you are retarded. Let me be clear. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about learning disability, like you were born with something wrong with you. I'm saying that your brain is your regular, ordinary human being. You have all of the advantages and disadvantages of an able-bodied and able-minded person. But you decided that you were not going to look at reality for what it was, and that you was going to distort reality and look at reality catty corner. You decided to retard your knowledge. That's what I'm saying. Because once again, I keep hearing black people talk about they need to clean up the hood. Constantly complaining that the hood needs to be cleaned up. But y'all also want all of the criminals free. All of the murderers free. Only people y'all want locked up is the rapist that ain't in your family. If there's a rapist in your family, y'all want him free. Only people y'all want that... Tell me where the lie's at. There's going to be a black person that is going to commit a heinous crime in the next couple of weeks. There's going to be a person of every race that's going to commit a heinous crime in the next couple of weeks. But there's going to be a black person that's going to commit a heinous crime in the next couple of weeks. And black people are going to come to that person's defense, and they're going to want that person to be a free person. And if you think I'm lying, what about that kid that just stabbed that other kid of last year sometime? Stabbed the black kid that stabbed the white kid that he wasn't supposed to be under their tent. And what was the first thing black people came to do? Defend him like he did something that was right. Just retarded. Defend him. Also, the fact that when somebody say retarded, y'all look at people that got developmental issues. Like, I'm looking at you crazy. Like, why would you use that word to describe them? That word has been around before those people existed. Like, why would you use that word? I'm just saying. In any regard. So Pooh Shiesty wanted to get out of his deal with Gucci Mane. They decided that they were going to kidnap Gucci Mane. And then after the kidnapping of Gucci Mane, they pulled guns on him and forced him to sign something and to let him out of the deal. Now, there's a couple of things I want to say here that's crazy. The first thing is, how do you have a gun? Like, you are the artist trying... I'm going to explain why they did all this in a second. You're the artist trying to get out of the deal. Why isn't your boys holding the guns? Why is anybody holding a gun? Y'all should have showed up with bats. But, you know, I guess y'all expected them to have guns. In any regard, they all had to have guns. I don't think any of them know how to fight. And this isn't me challenging anybody on anything. It's just that, like, even in the hood, if you notice, it's always the super skinny dudes that... Let me rewind that, because let me rewind that so I can give it the appropriate context. If you notice, in the hood, all of the biggest shooters, the guys that's running around talking about they're gonna light the block up, they're gonna shoot the place up, it's always the smallest, skinniest guys. Now there might be other small, skinny guys that's not on that time. They just regular human beings that's okay with people being alive. But a lot of the people, like the original 50 Cent. Y'all know the original 50 Cent was like 5'3", right? Like he was a tiny little thing. He was also the biggest menace in that project. The original 50 Cent, that 50 Cent got his name from, he was a whole menace. They say he used to walk around with 2 guns almost as big as him. And would pull them like that and was robbing everything. Like he was one of them people that he can't be outside. He can't just be standing outside. I knew niggas like that growing up. That's why I look at a lot of dudes now. Like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful or go at nobody. So I'm not talking about nobody specifically. But I look at people now sometimes, like I just, come across or whatever. And I'm going to let you know right now, the baddest dudes that was the most grimiest dudes they didn't hang out on the corner. You might see them out there every once in a while, but they didn't hang out on the corner. Now, the dirty ones that had nowhere to stay and stuff like that, they had no choice but to hang out on the corner. But the other dudes, they didn't hang out on the corner. Dudes that was really getting busy, getting away, not getting caught. Y'all OGs been lying to y'all, fam. A lot of y'all OGs is the dudes that got caught. Some of our OGs on this side is the dudes that never got caught. That's the difference. That's literally the difference. A lot of y'all OGs is the dudes that spent a lot of time in prison because they didn't know how not to get caught. Something to think about. Some of our OGs is dudes that committed a crap load of crimes and then somehow was business owners. They turned like 30, 35. They got whole businesses with a family. You like, how did that happen? I promise you. Biggest goons out there. Like, mofos, when they came outside, people's like, Omar's coming. Dudes like that. All of a sudden, they get to a certain age. Next thing you know, they got a pretty light-skinned wife. They almost all get light-skinned wives. Beautiful light-skinned wife. Almost all of them got light-skinned wives or some Latina. I promise you. Not all, a lot of them. Beautiful light-skinned wife. Probably got 2 or 3 kids. They're probably the sweetest kids you ever gonna meet. Kids don't know no bad. They just good, well-behaved, mannered. So that's why I be looking at dudes like, y'all don't get it. Some of the biggest gangsters, they kids is gonna go be a doctor or a lawyer or something. The biggest gangsters. Like, y'all OGs lied to y'all. They just tricked y'all into going. I'm gonna tell you what I think happens. Or any young dudes in here, listen, pay attention. The prison system is all connected. They're sending y'all young boys to these prisons on purpose to be their big homies' girlfriends. When y'all get that, when y'all understand that, not all of these dudes out here, but that they are some dudes out here that will get you caught up on purpose because they got some homies in jail and you're not really that tough. You're not really like that. They just treat you like you are because they love you and they want to abuse you. Like, some of them love you, but some of them want to abuse you. And they get you lined up. And you go to jail for the most time, they gonna be like, yo, don't worry, I got somebody in there that's gonna take care of you. You're gonna be getting taken care of, all right. All through the night, you're gonna be getting taken care of. Just putting y'all on the game, man. A lot of y'all young dudes, y'all don't get it, man. Y'all don't get it. When you get it, you gonna get it. When you get it, you gonna get it. I don't get it. I'd rather just die. I'm being honest with you. Like, I'd rather just die. I don't want to do nothing with a man. I'd rather just die. Like, very happily, by the way. Like, that's not even a question. Like, that's not. You see, dude tried to write something. I'm gonna go back and see what he wrote real quick. Hold on. It said, "Why do I something?" One of y'all could rewind and go back and see what he wrote. It said, "Why do I something?" Then he said, "Message retracted." But yo, yeah, they sending y'all. I'm trying to look. They sending y'all young boys to go to jail because they got 4 or 5 big homies that's waiting for y'all to come through their prison. You part of the game. When you get that, everything's gonna be different. Everything, I promise you, everything is gonna be different. You will look at a lot of this street shit different. You just look at it differently. Next time somebody asks you to go on a mission, you'll just look at it differently. Because these dudes literally be asking y'all to go on missions that they know niggas is not coming back from. Either because they gonna be dead or either because they gonna get caught. Hold on, I want to see what that person wrote real quick. That person's gonna be dead or that person gonna be caught. They be sending y'all out on missions. They know y'all not coming back. Damn, he got rid of it so quick. Yeah, they be sending y'all on missions. They know y'all not coming back. That's what I'm trying to explain. Like, they know you not coming back. Hold on, it's about to come up right now. Hold on. I want to see what it was. Y'all they sending you right to jail for your big homie, for they big homie. Yo, don't worry, I'm about to send this young dude. I'm about to send this young bull up to you. Take care of him for me. He gonna take care of you, all right. What the hell was that supposed to mean? What that supposed to mean? Anyway. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened to whoever. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. Y'all, and that's why I mentioned so quick that it's a lot of the skinny dudes. Y'all go to jail and then like and in the way it happens is different. Like nowadays they not doing it like that dude that was like, yeah, I like you and I want they're not doing it like that. They do a whole bunch of they ingratiate themselves to you. You might find a couple of snacks on your bed. You know, depending on how well you could fight or not, and if you're ready to die for that snack, you know, depending on what you could do with it, you might want to just, you know, not eat it. Or if you got hands and you ain't ready to go, you ain't ready to, you know, get busy, you might eat that shit and then look that motherfucker dead in his face. Why are you eating it? You might do that. I did some stupid shit. I was at Rikers. I did some stupid shit. I ain't give a fuck. I don't playing with them. Don't play with me, fam. I'm not a super tough guy or nothing like that, but don't play with me, fam. I'm not gonna tell the story, but somebody tried to do some. I ate that shit right now. Anyway, it's kind of hard to scare somebody who got a death wish, or who's lived a long time of their life with one. Like, it's kind of hard to scare that type of person who like just literally walking around with the understanding that people hate you so much. Like, every time I go outside, I might die today. Like, because people have irrational hate for me. Like, irrational hate. And every time I hear about why they hate me, it's always some new lie that ain't real. So I go out every single day. I go outside. I walk outside with the complete understanding that somebody might try to kill me, and I might have to kill them first. 100. Every time, because of the level of unnecessary, unmitigated hate and lies that are just constantly told about me all the time that I don't understand, and they're just lies. They're just, people just make up things. Every single time I walk out my door with the understanding of there were people out there that want to kill me, and there's a good chance I might have to kill them first. In Jesus' name. I walk outside with that understanding every time I walk outside my door. 100% of the time. People don't, the reasons why I hear people hate me and dislike me, I don't think I've heard one reason yet for a thing that I've actually done. Like, it's always just, I don't know, imagination. Like, it's never anything that I've actually done. Like, just so we could be clear, there'll be people that want me to be harmed and hurt because I don't like cigarette smoke. So even if it's something that's real, it don't make sense. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it'll be something that generally you would be like, well, I don't care about that. But with me, it's burn them at the stake. You understand? Like, the hate for me is, only person I could think of that has more. I don't really want to put myself in a category with this person because I'm not nowhere near this person in anything. But besides Trump and Christ, I'm just being honest with you. I don't know anybody that I've seen just 99% of the things that the world know about me ain't true. It's just this lies that people told. I don't know no better way to say that. It's just lies that people told. Like 99% of the things out there about me, it's just somebody just decided to tell a lie, and then it just other people decided to help the lie grow. I don't know what to tell you. So every time I walk out my door with the 100% proof that there are people that's gonna try to kill me. I might have to kill them first. I wish it wasn't like that. But people are just evil, generally speaking. I mean, just my perspective. people choose evil over everything, generally speaking. Not every person. Like, I know some good people out there in the world, but generally speaking, people will choose evil over anything. Anything. And that's my experience in life. And that's one of the reasons why I try so hard to, do the right thing. Why I want to do the right thing. Why I want, I know I'm gonna fall short. I don't have the most patience all the time. Like, I was at the park today, and I was trying to explain to a kid a thing, and there was a point where I could have been a lot nicer and politer, but he wouldn't have got it. So I had to choose between kindness and being nice. See, being kind is giving him the appropriate information, and he wasn't receiving it. So do I be nice and just let him not receive it and leave him in his peace? Or do I be kind and give him the information so he could grow as a basketball player? So those were the two choices I had to make. I had to make one or the other. I decided to help him as a basketball player. So I'm pretty sure if anybody didn't hear the whole conversation, they probably would have thought I was, being curt with him, or, being, short with him, being, but in reality, this is really a 5-minute conversation, not a 20-minute conversation. It's really a 5-minute conversation. Well, it's now taking 20 minutes. In any regard. So Pooh Shiesty, stupidly enough, not only was there when they did what they did to Gucci Mane, but also was upping the guns. Just lock these guys up. Just lock them up. If you have a rapper that talks nothing except for about criminality, then you catch them doing criminality and they get found guilty for doing criminality, I need to explain why they're giving any kind of benefit of the doubt. I need to explain why are we giving them shorter sentences. I need for you to explain why we're trying to help them get back out into the street. They done made 100 songs about killing, murdering, and whatever hell else they could think about that was against the law. Now you catch them doing some of those things. What would make you think that they are gonna now all of a sudden, after 2 or 3 years in prison, come out and be a good part of the community? I think our prisons need to be fixed. I only want murderers in prisons next to murderers. I only want grapists in prisons next to grapists. Actually, I want those guys extinguished. Not for nothing. I think that we need to start just putting a protocol on unaliving grapists and pedophiles. I think that that should be a thing. And just so we could be clear, I don't think your first grape gets you executed. I think that if it's proven that you've done more than one, I think that you should just be you should just be done. It should just be the end of you. I think that if you've done one, because one could have been a lie. And what I mean by one, I mean one instance. So somebody could lie. That could be the one. Now, think about how many people we hear about go to jail or go to prison, and then now they done serve how many years and come out and the woman be like, oh, I lied. So to fix that, I want 2 laws. One, you should be able to go to prison for lying about getting raped. 2, if you lie about a grape, that person goes to prison, you should then have to, and then they found out it's a lie, you should have to serve that same prison sentence. They did 10 years, you should get 10 years. Somebody grapes more than one person, man or woman, unalive them. That part. Unalive them. Man or woman. And these teachers that are doing that to the students, if you're not going to unalive them, they should be in prison for the rest of their lives. I think that doing anything with a child at all, you should be in prison for the rest of your life or unalived. I think unalived, but we got the not on the first time deal. So if we only caught you doing it one time, you wouldn't be unalived, but you should never be free again. Until we start taking stances like that, the hood is never going to be clear of crime. Remember, when people come out of prison, where you think they're going to move at? You think they're going to move to the communities, the nice communities that's expensive to be there? These people who have their jail has been in the prison system for the last 15 years, you think they're going to come out and have the financial capabilities to be able to move somewhere great? Or you think they're going to move to our neighborhoods? So I think we need to start being serious with crime. I don't think we're serious with crime in America. And hell, I'm not going to lie. Maybe I benefited from them not being serious with crime more than once. Maybe. But we have to start being serious with crime. If you get caught, I'm going to tell you what the problem with the whole 3 strikes prop issue. I'm going to tell you what the problem is. This is the problem. A bag of weed shouldn't be a strike. Minor offenses should not be a strike. That's the issue. They were giving people strikes for small things. So now you got people outside that might have 2 strikes and now they're nervous. They always on edge. So we got time bombs walking around. Time bombs. And it's not their fault, just so we could be clear. So I'm not against the 3 strikes thing, but I think it's 100% been used wrong and incorrectly. And yeah, I think a lot of the times it has been used to harm people of my race. 100% agree with you on that. I'm not even going to go into the whole, because, everybody try to make everything about race or whatever, but that's not my point here. My point is this. When people come out of prison, where are they going to move? To the hood or to a high-end, luxurious neighborhood? They're going to move to the hood. So it's important who they're letting out. It's important that if they got a guy that's locked up and he killed 3 niggas, that he's not back out on the street. That's important. It's important that if you have a guy that he's got in trouble for 10 different SEX crimes, that he's not back out in the public. This is important. The Democrats are going to fight to keep these people in our community because the Democrats need chaos. They need chaos. The Democrats thrive when the world is in chaos because that's where they want to operate. The Republicans prefer the world to be at peace. And you're going to say, but look at Trump starting a war in the Middle East. He didn't start no war in the Middle East. They bombed our towers in 2001. What the hell are you talking about? Didn't they take a whole embassy hostage and freaking Hillary Clinton let the people in the embassy die? What are you talking about? How many other places, not just in America, but in the world, has been bombed by terrorists that are being funded by the Iranian regime? So to the Democrats, those aren't acts of war. I want a president that says, if you kill one of our citizens in your country, or if you kill one of our citizens, period. We pulling up. I want that president. Not the president, oh, they just killed a couple of our guys, we're going to go talk it out. I don't want that guy. Once the other side commits unnecessary and unwarranted violence, I don't understand what we're discussing. I don't need somebody to like sit me down. Maybe we get some coffee, some tea. You know what I'm saying? Just sit down and discuss it with me. Like really break it down. We might need some PowerPoints, some charts, some graphs. I'm gonna need somebody to break this down for me. I'm over here thinking about how the people who like to put the stuff into my chat and try to make it sound like I'm talking to myself or saying things I'm not saying and all this other crap, that they can't comment and do that no more because I have to think that up on the screen. Now I understand why they do that. I don't know what YS is. What the fuck is that? Yeah, I like it like this better. Just imagine, I just want to just say this. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But just imagine how it must feel when I'm being 100% honest, telling someone that there's a person coming into my chat and saying things and I'm responding to them, and then that person is busy telling me that I'm wrong and I'm lying, and this is a thing that's actually happened. Like, how do you look at that person like and take them seriously as a person? I'm not even saying not to be disrespectful. I'm just saying that as a point of fact. Like, if you know something is a 100% bona fide fact, 100% bona fide fact, and somebody is coming to you because you experienced it, so you know it's a fact. This isn't something you think. This isn't a one-time occurrence. This is something that happens all the time. It's a daily occurrence. It's something you go through all the time. And then somebody asks you a question and you're trying to explain to them it, and they're cutting you off, telling you that you lying. Like, at some point you gotta be like, is this person stupid or do they dislike me? Because that's the only reasonable answers at that point. They either stupid or they don't like you. So, and you're just sitting there and like, so that's at that point, that's what I'm trying to figure out. So then everything that happens after that isn't trying to prove nothing to them. I'm just trying to figure out if they're stupid or if it's because of dislike. Because in either case, you handle both of them different. If it's because of dislike, avoid the person, don't talk to them. If it's because they're stupid, then you just handle that a different way. I don't want to say the way I handle that because that's the way I handle. Not a lot, but a couple. But yeah, so if they just hate you, then you just avoid them because there's nothing you could do. You understand what I'm saying? They know you're telling the truth. You understand what I'm saying? But if they're stupid, they don't know you're telling the truth. Like, they're stupid. Basically, like, you can't trust them to know anything. Like, nothing. Like, you can't trust them to know if the sun is out, if y'all standing outside in the noon, as far as I'm concerned. It could be noon, clear day, we standing outside. I wouldn't trust them to know if the sun was out. Not trust them to tell me if the sun is out. Trust them to know whether or not the sun was out. To themselves. There's just certain things you do that put you in that category with me. And to get out of that category is just so hard. It's just not worth it, to be honest with you. Not worth it for you, not worth it for me. Like, what the hell? Sorry. Nah, I don't care. Other things I'm concerned about. Sorry about that. I had to look at something. I got a thing about a thing. Anyway, in any regard, and I'm not gonna lie. After somebody does that to me, if I do keep interactions with them, I'm not gonna lie. I look at every single thing they do like totally different, like just absolutely totally different. Like I'm literally be sitting there trying to, cause I know everything they do is stupid. So I'm literally sitting there trying to figure out what making them do this next stupid move. Like I won't say nothing. I'm not gonna help them with nothing, but I'm gonna definitely be like, No, I'm good. No. You need help? Like, I'm not going to tell them how to do nothing. But if they be like, yo, can you do this or do that? Yeah, not a problem. I'm not going to help them do nothing, though. I ain't going to give them no information about nothing ever again as long as I live. I told you something that I knew was bona fide fact because I lived it. And then you told me it was a lie. Just so we can be clear. I told you something was a bona fide fact. I lived it. And then you busy telling me I'm wrong or I'm lying or something like that. And I'm like, Okay. Then every time I see you doing anything, I'm just going to be like, I might just stand and watch. Like, let me see what this guy's doing. This is a complete idiot. But shout out to them. Whatever. So yeah, if I just stop talking to you, I just think you evil. But if I keep talking to you, I just think you're an idiot. But if I stop talking to you, I think you evil. Basically, that's it. That person's pretty evil. That means if I be friends with them, I'm going to have to be angry and upset all the time. Because they're constantly going to be doing stuff to upset me. I'm good. I'd rather just avoid you. I'd rather have a boring life. My boring life is fun, so I'd rather have a boring life. I'm gonna enjoy myself. Like, shout out to, I'm not gonna say who, but there's a couple of chicks that I dated, and they was like, whatever, was boring or whatever at certain times, but the way they would be like, it's still fun. Like, we're not doing nothing, but it's still fun. But we're not doing nothing, but we're having a good time. That's because it's the vibe, man. It's 100% the vibe. Alright? That's it. It's the vibe. A lot of people don't know how to vibe. I know the vibe. I'm better at vibing on a one-on-one than I am at vibing with a ton of people because I prefer intimacy. So that's why a lot of times, especially if there's some chick that I'm into or whatever, I try not to, it's hard for me to engage with her in front of other people unless we already have that relationship where I could be intimate. Like, I could be, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless we already have that, it's hard for me to engage. Because I'm an intimate person. I want to, I'm like, it's hard for me to explain. But anyway, but be like, we're not doing nothing, but we enjoying ourselves. A whole vibe. I used to date this one chick. One woman, and Sundays was like that we stayed in on Sundays. So Sundays we just stay in on almost every Sunday. And the best recharging of my batteries I probably ever had in my life. But we just didn't do nothing. But we were never bored. It was never boring. Because I know how to vibe. And that's also why I make a lot of friends with people who don't like me. Because when you got a strong vibe, people that don't like you, they might not like you, but they like your vibe. And they like the way your vibe make them feel. And they like the way your vibe make other people conduct themselves around you. And that's why when I don't like somebody, I don't vibe around them. Like, even if they're standing there and I'm with somebody I F with, we not vibing. I don't like you. And just so we could be clear, I'm never doing anything to try to convince someone to like me. I refuse. I refuse. I'm not doing it. Now, if I like you, I'm more than happy to do things to show you that I like you. Don't get this confused. Like, if you're my friend, I'm more than happy to go out of my way for my friend. I'm more than happy to do things to show my friend I like them. But, like, that we friends. Don't get this confused. But if you think that you're going to be rude to me or in any way, shape, or form, and then I'm going to try to get your approval, I mean, fuck it, try. Try. I mean, fuck it. What I got to say? What do you got to? I mean, it's not gonna work. But the people that would be in that position ain't gonna listen to me anyway. Ain't gonna pay me no attention anyway. They still gonna do whatever they gonna do. And then when they get the exact same thing, I'm telling you, they're gonna go and act like they don't know what happened. That's gonna get taken care of sooner or later. Alright, what are we doing? What time we got? I think I'm gonna do something else. I think I'm gonna run and do something else. Anyway. So yeah, nah. Saying funny stuff at this point. What is our I can't never look at the dang thing no more, so I can't see what the name of the damn show was. Oh, here we go. John Fetterman threatens to leave Democratic Party. Basically, I think that there's going to be quite a few people that's going to leave the Democratic Party. We spoke about it earlier. I expect for there not to be a real big exodus, but knowing or at least feeling like very soon they're going to get absolutely killed in the midterms. It's only going to make... What the fuck is this? Knowing that they're going to get absolutely killed in the midterms. Or thinking, pardon me, how can I know, right? Thinking they're going to get absolutely killed in the midterms. Absolutely killed. Is basically... what leads me to believe that there will be people that will be leaving the Democratic Party. And not just people who vote, but also people who, are the, elected officials. They're going to be leaving the party, man. I promise you. Because it don't make sense. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I think people will get it, like, in a couple of years. You give it a couple of years after, a lot of... You give it a couple of years, I think people are going to get it. I think people are going to get it. People are going to look back at this day and age. They're going to see those crazy ass protesters. They're going to hear some of the policies that the Democrats are pushing right now. And y'all do understand what they're so concerned about, right? They're concerned that when Donald Trump's policies work, which they are going to, because they're literally the policies that people have been clamoring for the last 30 years. Almost every policy, almost everything Donald Trump has done, the Democratic Party has promised to do at one point or another since the 90s. I'm going to say this again, because this is why real Democrats, like people who are real Democrats, what up, Lala? Like people who are real Democrats, that's not fair. Let me reel that back. That's why some people who are conventional Democrats, meaning that they're not going on whatever the resident or the current fad is. They're not, jumping from fad to fad, because that's what the Democrats seem to be doing a lot of. But the individuals who have been with the Democratic Party for years and years and years, and they haven't changed their position on nothing. They're still the same Democrat that they was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever the case is. These policies that Trump is enacting are almost 100% Democratic positions at some point or another since the 90s. I lived through it. Like, I lived through it. Like, everything Trump has done almost has been things that the Democrats have been promising, and then they never got around to doing it for whatever the reason was. Some of them was good reasons, some of them was bad reasons. But everything that Trump is doing, the Democrats have promised at one point or another. For them to now act like it's complete insanity to be doing these things, and I'm not talking about the people that's voting. I'm talking about the elected officials. I want to be clear on that, because like often people think I'm not talking about the voters. So if you see me out on the street, I'm not talking about you. Sorry. If I see you out on the street, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the politicians. All right? I think the Democrats and the Republicans look at politics completely different. The Democrats think they are the representative. Like, they think that they are Kamala Harris. They think that they are Joe Biden. At least that's the way they carry on. And the Republicans don't look at it like they are Trump. But the Democrats look at the Republicans like they are Trump. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I think that it's just a different mindset. And I think that's one of the reasons why the Democrats are so angry at anybody who isn't pro whatever they're talking about. Because instead of seeing it like you have a different opinion, they're seeing it like, oh, you hate me because I don't like Jasmine Crockett, so I don't like you. What kind of sense does that make? You don't even know Jasmine Crockett. What are you talking about? You don't even know her. Because I don't like Kamala Harris, I don't like you. You don't even know her. You've never been in the same room with Kamala Harris. Why am I not allowed to dislike Kamala Harris? And if I do, that means I also dislike you, who I actually know. Like, we know each other. Not me and you, but you come into contact with people and you're like, me and you know each other. We know each other. We don't know Kamala Harris. You liking Kamala Harris has nothing to do with me and your relationship, and me not liking Kamala Harris has nothing to do with me and your relationship. You know how many people I know that don't like people that I either like or don't have a problem with, and I don't care? Literally don't care. I know they might think I care, but I don't. Sometimes when I'm around, because people think I love Trump for some strange reason, I don't. But I mean, if you're putting Christian policies into the way that we're running America, and I consider myself to be a lover of Christ, why wouldn't I applaud that? I'm going to say that again because I'm 100% certain people didn't get the inflect what I meant, the intent. But this is high level. If Trump is enacting laws, statutes, regulations, whatever, that align with Christian principles, and I love Christ, why would I be against him? I'm not saying I'm for him, but why would I be against somebody who's making the laws and structure of America revolve around Christ? See, some people call themselves Christians. They call themselves Christians. When people ask me what I am, I never call myself a Christian. I never say I'm a Christian. There's a couple of different reasons, but I'll tell you one reason why I never say I'm a Christian. Because I know a lot of Christians that don't live like Christians are supposed to live and are trying, while at the same time talking down on other people who aren't living the way that they believe Christians should be living. So if I have a friend who I know is a Christian and they're not living 100% by the guidelines, but they are also not running around pointing at other people, that sounds like regular human behavior. I'm fine with that. That seems like a well adjusted human being. You know, they have a faith or something that they believe in, and they're not perfect, and but they do have a faith in something that grounds them. That's fine. And in addition to that, they're not running around pointing at other people saying you got to live this way, you got to live that way, you got to live that way. Romans 2 explains everything that I'm saying as far as that is concerned. The judgment of others and not judging people that's doing the same sins you're doing. Basically also aligns with the pull the splinter out of your eye before you try to remove your brother's. Anyway, that's in a whole nother conversation. So when I see people who are supposed to be Christian, and I'm having a conversation with them about something, and it literally says that this is good in God's eyes in the Bible, and then they argue against it, to me, I don't know what to do with that. Like, I don't know what to do with that. So I don't tell people I'm a Christian. I'm a follower of Christ. That is what I am. Because once I say Christian, I align myself with all of those people that go and don't do none of the stuff that they're supposed to be doing, while always pointing at everybody else, talking about what other people are supposed to be doing. I just had a whole grown man tell me that I wasn't a grown man because I wasn't okay with being with somebody insulting me over and over and over again. And he basically called me a child because I didn't want to sit there and just be insulted and be quiet while I was being insulted. He's supposed to be a Christian. See why I question? He didn't think about trying to prevent the person from insulting me. That wasn't even a thought. That wasn't even a consideration. His whole thing is that I should be abused. And I should be quiet about it. And that I wasn't being quiet about it, I couldn't be a real man. What kind of real man? You can't love Christ. He told me I don't love Christ. While he sat there and saw someone being abusive towards me, he didn't want to prevent them, and he also didn't want me to speak up on it. If that's not Satan, I don't know what to tell you. Explain to me how that's not something Satan does. If anybody ever wants to explain to me how that's not something that Satan uses, it's called gaslighting. If that's not something that Satan uses, It doesn't say anything about gaslighting specifically, but while the Bible does not use the modern term gaslighting, it strongly condemns the manipulation, lying, and emotional abuse that defined it. What do you think was going on when this individual told me that I had to basically, there was something wrong with me because I didn't want to be standing there being abused, verbally abused by this individual. For no reason, by the way. I'm just minding my business and they're just verbally abusing me. They don't want to stop they not only don't want to stop the person from doing it, but I got the impression like they wanted the person to do it more. This person is supposed to love Christ though. This person is supposed to, pardon me, all that other stuff. Person is supposed to love Christ though. Shout out to him, whatever. I hope whoever's wrong in this situation, God steps in. That's it. While the Bible does not use the modern term gaslighting, it strongly condemns the manipulation, lying, and emotional abuse that defines it. He wanted me to experience emotional abuse. He wanted me to stand there while somebody just absolutely insulted me while I said or did nothing and just stood there, didn't leave, just stood there and got abused. Scripture characterizes such behavior as the work of fools. I didn't say it. Proverbs 18. That's not a link. Fools take no pleasure in understanding, but only in airing their own opinions. This verse highlights that pride and lack of desire for true wisdom characterize foolishness, often showing preference for speaking over listening, self-indulgent, and disregarding wise counsel. Deceptive, Proverbs 12:22, and demonic. Look, what did I tell you? What did I literally tell you? How can this person that did that thing to me now speak to me in any way, shape, or form like they love Christ? Now I'm going to tell you what I believe they was doing. I'm going to read this whole thing, and then I'm going to tell you what I believe they was doing. While the Bible does not use the modern term gaslighting, it strongly condemns the manipulation, lying, and emotional abuse that defined it. Scripture characterizes such behavior as the work of fools, Proverbs 18:2, deceptive, Proverbs 12:22, and demonic, originating with Satan, Genesis. Let's go look at this. To destroy truth and control others. I want to leave that. Genesis 3:1-3 details the serpent's temptation of Eve in the Garden of Eden. The serpent, described as the craftiest beast, questions God's commands and asking if they are forbidden from eating any tree. Eve replies that they may eat from the garden, but not the fruit of the middle tree, or they will die. They will actually know death, basically. The temptation, look, the serpent questioning. You know how people used to come here all the time? Oh, I'm just asking a question. You know how Donald Trump, they keep asking Donald Trump like them weird ass questions, and he'd be like, yo, but that was, and they'd be like, yo, but we just asking you a question. Why you got a problem? The temptation. Look, Bible proving some questions are not done in good faith. And just because something is a question, it doesn't mean it's harmless. The response: Eve answers that they may eat from the tree, but God commands that they not or even touch it. The fruit in the middle tree, the garden, they would die. Of course, he had to get to a woman. And I'm not trying to be funny, but for whatever the reason is, y'all love to just do things that people say don't do. Like, I don't know if y'all was like this before this or after, but if you tell a female don't do something, now that becomes a life's mission. I have no idea why that is so. And that's one of the main reasons why I keep telling dudes, if shorty isn't interested in you, a woman needs to be more interested in a man than a man is the woman. If shorty ain't interested in you, fam, she's gonna sleep around on you. Period. That baby might not be yours. Y'all be out here chasing women that don't want you. Y'all wait until she exhausts all of her resources. Don't know other men want her. She got 3 kids. Now she ready to talk to you. Now she's been humbled. Let her keep her humble ass across the street. I promise you that there's women out here in the world that don't have any kids yet that will love you. I'm talking to men right now. I promise you. There's just like there's women out here that got a kid or 2 that might love you. I'm not saying that that's not a thing. But there's women out here that have no kids. They will love you. They haven't been taught how to be disrespectful to men yet. Because this is a learned thing. In our neighborhoods, they use TV now and media, but they teach our women to be disrespectful. They teach our women to act in a manner that makes it so our houses don't have peace. They teach our women or encourage our women to do that, to constantly question a man or question a husband, preventing progress in life. Like, how are we supposed to progress if every decision I'm trying to make, you question it? You're not helping me do nothing, but you questioning everything I do. I was dating a woman, a really good woman, by the way. And I knew I was never going to even be able to start YouTube. I knew that there was things that I was never going to be able to do when I was with her. Because every time I had an idea, she'd say, yo, that idea is good. But then she'd start shooting it down. And then even like I realized that when I got to the point where we had a discussion about it one day. And I was like, yeah, I don't like the way, like, whenever I have this thing or that thing and I'm coming to you with it and, you don't, it's never support. It's always you telling me all the ways it's going to fail. And out of her mouth came, that's basically how she helps. So, I got it. That's not the way I work. Maybe other men work like that, where you criticize everything that they doing, and then they work harder. No, I don't work like that. I need. There's a reason why I don't deal with certain types of people. Like negative people, people that, hateful people. Because that energy don't work with me. You understand what I'm saying? With all due respect. But she was a good woman, so this is not me speaking negative about her at all. She was a good woman. But I would have, a lot of the things I've done in my life, I would have never been able to do with her. But there were things that I am able to do now, and that I would never been able to do if not for the help of her. So she was very important in my life. She was very important in my maturation. So I'm not shooting. I'm just, she was just never, her way of being supportive was not what I call being supportive. In order to do great things, sometimes you have to be delusional. You don't think people thought Noah was delusional? You know how many years it took him to build the ark? You don't think people thought Noah was delusional? And just so we could be clear, there was a drought problem out there when he was building that ark. They had a whole drought issue. So they fam, it ain't rained here in what are you talking about? We don't even get rain. When there's gonna be a flood from the sky. You know how delusional they thought? So I'm gonna give a little tip and hint to all women out there. If you with a delusional nigga, he might be able to do great things in the world. Not will be. Just, it does the talent and preparation and stuff that needs to align. But if you with a delusional dude, he might go out there and do incredible things. A lot of times y'all leave that delusional dude, because y'all believe him to be delusional. And then he go and he get with a white woman or a Latina woman. And then the next thing you know, they're big. And then what y'all say is, oh, why didn't you do that when he couldn't? He literally couldn't. You were blocking his blessings. You see, The Bible says whenever there's two or more people together in unison and we speaking to God and we're trying to make a thing happen, it's done. So how are you supposed to make things for you and your family if your wife is the one that's basically not aligning with you? Y'all can't align, because then whenever you say something, she got to have a problem with it. Whenever you doing something, she has an issue with it. Everything you doing, she working to undo. That's why I say, and I'm not trying to be hateful or nothing like that, but I think that should be the number one thing men look for when they looking for a wife. Is she gonna help in what I'm doing in life? And for the women that's like, but why aren't you helping her? God said women are helpmates. So if you're an independent woman, then you're not for me anyway. I want a helpmate. I want a woman that wants to live an easy life. I want a woman that wants to live a nice, soft life. I don't want them hard life women. Y'all, all of y'all women that want to live a hard life, shout out to you. I don't want you. I hope you get the hard life that you're attempting to get. I hope you achieve it. I don't know what to tell you. But I don't want a woman that want a hard life. I want a woman that want a soft life. I want that. Because if you have a woman that want a soft life, she's going to treat you in the manner you need to be treated in order for you to give her that soft life. In order for you to be able to go out there in the world and fight all of them demons and them entities that's going to try to prevent you from doing whatever it is that you're trying to do. So you want a woman that wants to live a soft life. You do not want... the biggest turn off a woman could tell me, right? Just so we could be clear. Is not turn off she could tell me. But the biggest thing that will make me question whether I want to be with a woman is how badly does she want to be out there in the world without me? Meaning, okay, you got a job, great. But if I could come up with a way for us to have a home business and it be good, could we do that? Oh no, you want to stay with your career. Then you're not for me. Because I want you to live a soft life. I want you to be at home with kids and worry about stuff like that. I don't want you to have to worry about your boss. I don't want you to have to go wake up early in the morning to go 2 hours to get to work, an hour and a half to get to work. I don't want you to have to do none of that. I want you to live a soft life. I'm going to blow my nose in 1 minute. Like I'm not gonna get up here and talk to y'all about my life or nothing like that. So I don't want to say too much or whatever, but I have the ability right now to give a woman a soft life. That's the best way I could put it, without me saying too much. And yeah, I want to give a woman a soft life. I want you to be happy. I don't want you to be 40 and look. I don't want you to be 30 and look like you 40 because you've been so much stress. You know, you had to do so much stress. I don't want that. I want you to also, and people might be upset at this, but I want you to have a feminine body. I don't want you to look like a dude. Going to the gym is great, but I'm going to tell you something that happened in the 90s, and it's sad, in the 90s and the early 2000s. A lot of women decided that they wanted to stay in shape. And when they went to the gym to stay in shape, they went to the wrong people. They went to the heavy powerlifting people when they should have been going to the people that do all the stretches and the calisthenics. That's what they should have went to. So they went to all the powerlifting guys, and the powerlifting guys told them what they knew, how to powerlift. So you have a lot of women that they burned all of the fat off of they woman parts. Like, they don't have the nice hips anymore because they did the exercises that took their hips away. They don't have the nice glutes anymore because they didn't do the right exercises that grow glutes. You understand? Happened to a lot of women. I've been in the gym for years, man. Years. I had a gym on my terrace in the 90s. That's the best way I could put it. My gym was in my crib on my terrace. Or balcony, whatever y'all want to call it. But that's where my gym was. I went out there, it'd be snowing, and I'd be outside just in the snow, and I work up a nice sweat. I take my shirt off. I'm out there with the snow coming down. I got a wife beater on. I got my bench over here. I'm lifting weights. Really, that's the first time I think first of all, if you consider what I just said, mansplaining, and I don't want to question I don't want to say nothing negative about your intelligence, but if you consider me telling people my opinion, mansplaining, like that's just my opinion. I didn't say any of that. Those are my opinions. So you don't think men should have opinions? And if a man has an opinion, you want to attack them verbally. You see how these people are? Now, tell me that this isn't mental health problems. This is either mental health problems or they hate me. Or they just slow and they don't understand that people are allowed to have opinions. But it's one of the two. Definitely one of the three. It's definitely one of the three. Yes, I have opinions. You don't want to see my opinion? I'll help you out. Since you don't think I'm allowed to have opinions, I'm going to help you out. There you go. There you go. I'm not allowed to have opinions. So you're not allowed to have opinions on my page anymore. That's fair, right? I think that's fair. And just for anybody that's wondering why I just did that so quickly, I'll explain Proverbs 23:9. Wait, do I already got it up? Yeah, there we. Well, Proverbs 18:2 also. So this is why I kicked them so quick. Fools take no pleasure in understanding, but only air in their own opinions. All I said was my opinion. That's it. And what they did was they decided that my opinion was mansplaining, which was their opinion and was incorrect because I was just saying my opinion. So this is. It's 23:9, right? It could be 13:9. I think it's 23:9. Yeah, Proverbs 23:9 advises against wasting wisdom on those who despise it. So therefore, we just kick the individual because it would have been a waste of time talking to them. That's why I kick people. Because once I believe it's a waste of time talking to you, I just kick you. Also, sometimes I just leave people in here, as y'all seen previously. But this person don't think that my opinion is worth me saying on my own page. So I don't think your opinion is worth you saying on my page. I think that's fair. I'm with you. I want a woman that has I want a woman that wants a soft life. A lot of these women don't want a soft life, in my opinion. A lot of these women want to have the most hard, difficult, grueling life you could possibly get. All they think about is they want all the hard work. They want all the, I don't want that. I want a wife that I want to, because I want a soft wife. I don't know many women that go to work 40, 45 hours a week and are happy. And I want my wife to be happy. That's important to me. 1 second. Yeah, that's important to me. That's important to me. I want to have a soft life, man. That's another reason why I don't want to. If and this is just me talking to men, just in general. Unless you want to have a wife that's gonna, like you can marry or whatever, but and you want her to look like she aged, like, don't marry a woman that's. If she's always complaining to you about stuff that makes no sense all the time, just always complaining, she's mad at every single thing that you're doing, then you're just not the right person for her. Stop trying to force it. That's the best way I could put it. Don't stop trying to force it. Don't be upset. Don't be angry at her. It ain't work out. You can't make her happy. The number one thing I'd say, don't move her in too early unless you know her. And don't move in with her too early. I had a girlfriend that had her own house, and I never once thought about moving in with her. And I lived with a family at the time. Never really once thought about moving in with her. It was not like something that was on my mind. If she would have brought it up, it's not that I wouldn't have done it, but it wasn't even something that was on my mind. It wasn't even a consideration. And it's not that I didn't think really well of her or whatever. I thought she was great. But I had moved in with a different female that I just didn't really know well before I had met her. And I didn't like the way that it went at the end. You understand? Like at the end, I didn't like the way it went. So I just decided I was never going to put myself in that situation again. So that's all that was. But yeah, stop moving them in before, like, I get it. You're not certain. You understand what I'm saying? But just don't do that. You're moving them in too soon. That's what I see happen with a lot of people. You don't even know if y'all could cohabitate. You don't even know. Oh shoot, did somebody send me a message? Oh shit. Hold on, I think I got a voicemail I missed. Why? I was sitting right here, my phone did not ring. Hold on. Give me 1 second. So the phone is new. Somebody sent me a voicemail, and now I gotta set the whole damn voicemail up to hear the voicemail. So I'm just not even. Only one person has my number. So, well, 2 people, but maybe 3. But I only gave only one person has my number basically. So I know it was the only one person could have called me. Only one person has my number. I do not give out my phone number. I have a throwaway number that a couple of people have, but only one person has my phone number. or one small family. That's it. I'm not for everybody. And there's literally only one girl I'm even thinking about giving my number to. What is other chick, but that's just because she's my friend. But that's the only reason. I think she likes me though, so I'm not gonna give her my number. I don't wanna give her the wrong impression. And she's nice. She's really nice. She's really nice. That's what wins me over. Like, of course you gotta be pretty. Don't get this confused. But like, kindness and niceness and warmness, like that's what wins me over. Like that. I'm gonna say something because we just talking. But I'm used to the women that I date being like the alpha females, like of the group. And not alpha like, yeah, but alpha like so soft and kind and just know how to. Well, a lot of that talking they get from me. Like, you hang out with me a little bit, you understand how to do conversation. But know how to like control a room in a positive way. You understand what I'm saying? No, like like I don't know how to say it. Well, I mean, but almost all the girls I date be really pretty. So maybe they're just pretty and they getting over because they pretty. I don't know. They're usually really pretty. Usually. I'm here thinking that maybe the people just be doing what they want them to do because the damn girls be so pretty and it's hard not to listen to pretty girls. It's hard not to listen to pretty women, man. Shorty be pretty and kind, and she knows how to talk like a female and with softness instead of all of that rah bullshit. It's hard for a man to not listen. I know women are never gonna get this. I get it. This is one of those things that just is always gonna be outside the scope of women understanding. I get it. They're never gonna understand how powerful being feminine is. We're at this place in history right now where the end of the world is gonna come before women really American women understand how powerful being feminine is. Jesus is gonna come back first. I'm 100% certain of it. Like, there's women out there that understand being feminine is good. Don't get this confused. But like, it's never gonna go back to the way it used to be. It just never. It's just like it's just never. Like, women are just so masculine now. Women are so masculine now that this masculine thing, they've convinced people that they've stolen traits and trying to make certain traits feminine. So if a man does it, they say he's sassy, but they're not necessarily feminine traits. Like, I'll give you an example. You have the right to verbally stand up for yourself. I know women, specifically women in the hood, want men to believe that if they disrespect them or if they say something that's out of line or wrong, that men don't have a right to say nothing back to them. And if they do, they being sassy. But that's not true. Now, if you standing there and you don't need to go back and forth with her, that's kind of feminine. Like, you could walk away. Like, this isn't an important situation. This woman is not your wife. This woman is not your daughter. This woman is not a family member. This is not somebody who can hold you there because you have to care about their emotions. Yeah, just walk away from that. Just walk right away. Just, what are you doing? There's some people out here, like where I live, that some women that just said some weirdo shit to me, and I have never talked to them again. And I am perfectly fine with it. And I hope they're perfectly fine with it too. Go live your best life, ma. But you showed me in that moment with your behavior that we don't mesh. And I'm not a dumb nigga that wants to spend his time around people that want to treat him bad. So one of the tactics that sometimes women do when they think you over they range or whatever is they insult you to try to make you feel like you less and make them look like they up there so then they could get you. You understand what I'm saying? So whenever a woman insult me, especially for no reason whatsoever, I'm never talking to you again. Because I'm not going to play that game. Yeah, I'm just never going to talk to you again. I don't care if I wanted to marry you yesterday. If you put me in a position that I feel like I got to stand on this, then it is what it is. Because sometimes people think that they're so important in your life that they could treat you bad and you're not going nowhere. So what you need to start doing is, and this is going to sound crazy, but you need to start making an example out of someone at least once a year. Just to make sure people understand. Just like their presence in existence and in people's lives are important, so is yours. So yeah. Once that happens, okay. I'm all of those negative things, not a problem. I just never talk to them. I'm pretty sure they're happy I'm never talking to them. I'm happy I'm never talking to y'all. So shout out to everybody. Everybody's happy. That's the way I see it. Yeah, I just never talk to you again. I got family members I've never talked to again. It's not going to be hard for me to never talk to you again. I got family members that I used to live under the same roof with that I would just never talk to again. It's not nothing for me to decide to not talk to anybody. It's just, you're not Jesus, you're not God, you ain't the Holy Spirit. I'm gonna be okay. And when they ask me, say anything to me, I'm gonna say they shouldn't have played with me. I don't know who gave them that impression that I should be played with, but you shouldn't have played with me. Now we're here. And I'm ready to hold this until we both die. I'm ready to keep this position until we both die. I don't think you understand just how committed I get to things. I'm not good at things because I'm just good at things. I'm good at things because there's a point in my life that I commit so much attention and effort to a thing that I just become good at it. When I put that attention and effort on not speaking to you again, then we might as well just act like we never met. Anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go. Been up here just talking shit for the last, I don't know, a little while. Just felt like talking. Felt like going live. Maybe we do video gaming tonight. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. We will be back definitely on Monday. Tomorrow is Easter. Get out there and let everybody know how you feel about Jesus. I have a lot of church to be doing tomorrow, and that's another thing. So there's this girl that I like, but I don't know if she'll go to church with me, and I think that that's the biggest. That's big to me. Like, I get the impression that she might not go to church with me. Like she will, but it'll be a struggle. Like, it'll be, I don't know how to explain it. I just don't know. I just don't know. And that's a deal breaker for me. I need Jesus to be in the house, not just at church, and then I meet him at the church. I need Jesus to be in the home. When I walk down the block, I need Jesus to be right next to me. You don't get that type of if you're just part-time in it, you know? You don't get that type of attention or recognition or observation of miracles, because miracles are always happening. It's whether you could observe them or not. And the more miracles you could observe, the more miracles happen. It's weird the way that happens, but that's basically what it is, in my opinion, or from my perspective. I could be wrong. That's just my perspective. But people don't know, like, miracles are always happening. I can't express this enough. Always happening. People just don't know how to observe them. I think things are luck. That's God. I think things are coincidence. That's God. I just realized about a month or two ago that there was a chick that liked me that was walking her dog. And I didn't realize that she could have just been walking her dog to bump into me until I realized I never see her walking her dog no more. So I went from seeing her every day walking her dog to now I never see her walking her dog no more. I'm like, shit, was she outside trying to meet me? I'm just slow. There's certain things I'm slow about. This is something I'm slow about. Super slow. I guess that's the trade-off, right? Be intelligent about that type of stuff to be completely a moron about that type of stuff. So yeah, that type of stuff, I'm a complete idiot. Yeah, I'm just absolutely a complete idiot. But, you know, maybe that wasn't what was happening. What the fuck do I know? Part of my language. With that being said, I'm out of here. I gotta go. Everybody, please go into the world. Do something worth doing. Stamp God's name on it. And let people know that. Stamp God's name on it and let people know that you come in the name of the Most High. Salute. I'm out.